Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. How are you all doing? It's a lovely, sunny Sunday morning, perfect for staying indoors and talking about some weekly watches. That's how we go here. Anyway, we've got, I can't remember how many we've got. 1, 2, 8. We've got 8 titles to talk about. Seems to be a familiar number. I'm sure it's been 8 for the last couple of weeks. I'm nothing if not consistent, you can say. Yeah, so grab a cup of tea, grab a Marmite sandwich, I don't know where that come from, and let's get on with this. Right, I kicked off the week with the Yakuza from 1974, directed by Sidney Pollack, starring Robert Mitchum, Ken Takakura, Keiko Kishi, and Brian Keith. I love Brian Keith. He's one of my favourite character actors, and he was good again in here. Now, I was watching Warren Goose's Movies, his review of the month. I love his review of the month video. One of my favourite videos of the month, because he always watches some great stuff. And he watched Yakuza and spoke very highly about it, which just reminded me that shamefully I've had it on my shelves for must be about a year unwatched. I remember picking it up at Lancaster, I think it was in July when I went last year. So yeah, thick end of a year, it's been sat waiting for some love, and it's got some love now. And Warren was totally right. This is a magic film. I've really enjoyed this. Now, there's a lot going on, so bear with me as it's nearly, well, it is a week since I watched it, so it could be a bit foggy. My memory's not the best. This is about Robert Mitchum's character. Now, after the Second World War, he was serving in Japan, and he stayed on because the Allies stayed on for a few years to make sure everything ran smoothly. And Robert Mitchum's character, he stayed on, fell in love with this Japanese woman, the love of his life, if you like. And after a few years, her brother, who was thought to be dead in the war, returned home. And his brother didn't take kindly to his sister's involvement with this Westerner, and quite a nasty kind of brother. He's a Yakuza, hence the title, the Yakuza. So Mitchum went back to live in the States, leaving behind the love of his life. After a few years, he gets together with another Westerner who was also in Japan after the war, played by Brian Keith. Now, Brian Keith, he is up to no good. He's gun running for the Yakuza, and when he doesn't deliver on a promised order, he's in trouble with them. So he asks Mitchum to see if he can liaise with his sort of ex-girlfriend's brother, and because he's also Yakuza, see if he can smooth the waters out a bit. So Mitchum flies back over to Japan, meets up with the brother, and then it really kicks off from there. He gets involved in a war with the Yakuza, back involved with, again, the love of his life, who, you can tell, like, the love and respect that them two had for each other. Yeah, really, really lovely in that respect, the film. And, yeah, decent, slow burn as a lot of the 70s films are, but that doesn't detriment it in any way, shape or form, because for me it was paced fantastically, and it comes to brilliant crescendo, and there's a fantastic twist again. His scenes with Ken Takakura, absolutely marvellous, like the chemistry that the two of these had on screen together, brilliant. Yeah, really, really like this. A brilliant way to start off the week. And Warren, thanks, mate, for pointing me in the direction of this one and getting me arse in gear to give it a watch, because it'll be one that I can see myself watching a few times now. Yeah, pick that up in the HMV sale because you won't regret it. Really, really great film. That's the Yakuza. And I followed that up with Cisco Pike from 1971, directed by Bill Norton, starring Chris Christopherson, the lovely Karen Black, Gene Hackman, Harry Dean Stanton, all four now sadly gone and all four sadly missed, with Hackman being the latest. Yeah, this was alright. It wasn't the best. Bit forgettable, well, like I say, it's nearly a week since I watched it and I'm struggling to recall many details about it. Chris Christopherson was the main character, and he is this ex-drug dealer come trying to make his name in the music business, sort of folk singing, and he gets involved. Gene Hackman's character, Gene Hackman's a policeman, a crooked policeman, who is sitting on, I think it was 100 kilos of marijuana stroke blood. I don't know much about drugs, marijuana or something. He's got it round Gene Hackman's house, and he gets Chris Christopherson involved, who's trying to go straight. Yeah, you've heard it all before. He's trying to go straight, but he sort of blackmails him into selling all these drugs for him over a weekend, or he'll go back to prison for crimes that he's already done. And that's the premise of the story, and yeah, that's about it. It sounds, to me, for me, the premise is a lot more exciting than it was. I found it a bit dull, whereas the Yakuza was a slow burn in just the perfect way. This, for me, dragged a little bit. Yeah, it was all right. It was watchable, don't get me wrong. Harry Dean Stanton, he was brilliant as the brother of Chris Christopherson. Yeah, he turned up. Yeah, he played a good part, but Harry Dean Stanton's always good. Again, another bit part character actor that I really liked, and yeah, it's a shame he's gone, as it is with the rest of them. Yeah, Cisco Pike, not the best, watchable. Grab it in the sale when they sell them for $5 each. And next, Seraphim Falls. This is from 2006, directed by David Von Anken, starring Liam Neeson, Pierce Brosnan, Michael Wincott, again, another brilliant character actor, seems to be a theme this week, always plays a good bad guy, Kevin O'Connor, Angelica Houston. And what a surprise, this one. This has been sat in my shelves again for the longest time, and justified now I buy these films and they sit there for a while, because when I do get to them and discover films like this, yeah, what a brilliant Western this is. I think it's pretty underrated. I don't hear anybody talking about it. It starts off with Liam Neeson. He's got this little gang of thugs and cutthroats with him, Michael Wincott and Kevin O'Connor being amongst them. And yet, really good characters in them. There are some really bad guys. And they are chasing down Pierce Brosnan, and Liam Neeson wants him capturing for whatever reason at the time you don't know. Then, as you go along, the story unfolds a bit more, and you find out why Liam Neeson wants him, and then all your feelings are sort of turned on its head about the film. Because at first I was all for Brosnan's character, but then when you find out why Neeson, as I say, wants him so badly, then it turns around and you're behind him. I was actually loathing Neeson at the first, but then behind him, yeah, brilliant how it done that. The scenery is, a lot of Westerns, really, really good. I think I said last week with Jeremiah Johnson, if you're a fan of The Revenant, I think you're also going to be a fan of this, because similar sort of snowy scenes and similar themes. Yeah, really, really like this. I don't know where this has been since 2006. Why I've never seen it. I'm nearly 20 years old and not seen it in a Western fan. Yeah, really good. Other Western fans, if you've seen Seraphim Falls, let me know down below. I thought it was a wonderful film. Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. And after that, I was just in the mood for a bit of Arnie. When you're in the mood for Arnie, Arnie's got to be done. So I followed that up with The Sixth Day from 2000, directed by Roger Spottiswoode, starring obviously Arnie himself, Michael Rappaport, Michael Rooker, again, Michael Rooker, another great character actor, another great bad guy all the time. Wendy Crewson, who was Arnie's wife, and I haven't seen her in much else, I don't think, but she was really good, so I must have a look, see what else she's been in. So again, like any recommendations, Wendy Crewson, let me know down below. Yeah, this was alright. It's not Arnie's finest moment by any long shot, but it's decent. It's set in the not too near future, as they'd have you believe, so being 2000, we're probably past it now and it never happened. Human cloning has been a thing, but it's been banned for ethical reasons. But you can still get your pets cloned if you like. If your cat dies, you can get your cat cloned and your cat will be with you again. And Arnie's character is very old school in a world that's going forward. Is very old, doesn't believe in cloning your cats or that, believes in the circle of life. A man after my own heart, really. He's a helicopter pilot for this adventure type company. You know, people hire him out to go snowboarding and stuff like that. When he swaps a job that he should be done with his colleague is killed thinking that his colleague is Arnie, and Arnie gets cloned, which leads some good scenes when Arnie returns home and he sees himself with his wife. Yeah, it's decent. It's then goes from Arnie being manhunted because, like I say, it's been outlawed cloning, so it shouldn't exist, and only like the rich and powerful do it underground for when their wives die and stuff like that. So it doesn't want getting out. Yeah, good conspiracy. We're talking about conspiracy on the live stream the other day, and this would fit nicely into it. Like I say, not the best Arnie film, but it's still a lot of fun and some great one-liners. Yeah, that's The Sixth Day. It was all right. Next up, A Month in the Country. Now, if you've watched Ellery's video, and congratulations on 100 subscribers, Ellery, in double quick time. Very well deserved. Great content, been enjoying your stuff, and so have other people, obviously, so well done again, mate. Yeah, Ellery also watched this, and he spoke about it about 2 hours ago. I think he uploaded his video, so it's rather stole my thunder, but we'll give it a go anyway. Yeah, A Month in the Country, directed in 1987 by Pat O'Connor, starring Colin Firth, Kenneth Branagh, Natasha Richardson, and like Ellery said, tragically died early in her 40s from a skiing accident, a head injury. She was married to Liam Neeson and they had 2 children together. Very lovely looking lady she was. And also Patrick Mullahyde, who again is a favourite actor of mine. It's definitely a theme. Patrick Mullahyde, I know from Chisholm in Minder, my favourite TV series, and he played the vicar in this, and he was very much Chisholm dressed up as a vicar, which amused me greatly. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. This is set in the Yorkshire village of Oxgodby, which is a real village. I was sad enough to Google it. It's between Leeds and York. I thought it was going to be fictional, but no, it's not. This is about Firth's character. He's come back from World War One, a very damaged man. The slightest bang will set him off. He has nightmares. He's developed twitches and stammers. So he goes and works in this village, and his job is restoring paintings and stuff like that in churches. In the church in Oxgodby, there's this big painting that over the years has got covered up, and it's his job to restore it back to its former glory. While he's there, he meets Branneth's character, who is an archaeologist, and he's working sort of in the next field next to the church, and they set up a friendship. They form a friendship because, like Firth, Brannan's characters come back from war and almost also struggling. So the two are good for and find each other's company quite cathartic. While he's there, he sort of falls for Chisholm's wife, played by Natasha Richardson. Chisholm was definitely punching above his weight there, I can tell you. And yeah, it's very slow paced, as Ellery alluded to, but again, that doesn't bother me. I loved how it unfolded and how you got drawn into this community, this God-fearing community, which made Firth angry because what he'd been through, he certainly didn't believe in God anymore, and he had to sleep in the church, and how these people was so self-righteous, but none of them would put him up or give him a bed or anything like that. Yeah, definitely a mood piece. Firth, brilliant. It's quite unrecognisable as this young guy. Yeah, I just loved it. The mood of it, the feel of it, absolutely hit right, absolutely banged home for me. I'd say it's a 4.5 star, 5 star film for me. That's how much I liked it. Yeah, and it's not going to be for everybody. I could see people watching it and thinking, what a load of boring old crap. But for me, it hit right, and I'll make no apologies for that. Yeah, Month in the Country, very, very good stuff. Next up was Leaving Las Vegas. Sorry, Sammy. Leaving Las Vegas from 1995, directed by Mike Figgis, starring Nicolas Cage, Elizabeth Shue, and Julian Sands as a Russian pimp. Yeah, go figure. And I don't know what it is about addiction films, but they really get to me. They really hit hard with me. I was so depressed afterwards. I don't know why they hit me so hard. Picnic at Hanging Rock, that was the same. I watched that famously on Christmas Eve last year and nearly destroyed my Christmas. And this had a similar effect on me. Like I said, I don't know why. I've certainly never been addicted in any shape or form. I'm surrounded by thousands of films, so maybe you can class that, but they're not going to kill me unless they fall on me or something. Fortunately, none of my family have suffered from addiction, so why they hit so home for me, I don't know, they just do. This is about Cage's character. It is everything's gone wrong with drink. He's lost his wife, lost his kid. Well, he actually says he can't remember if he started drinking because his wife left him or his wife left him because he started drinking. Yeah, that's how far gone he is. And he lost his job, lost his friends, everything is on his arse. You see him in the morning, he wants to cash a cheque at the bank so he can get some more booze, but he's too far gone, he's too shaky to sign the cheque, so he has to go and get loaded so he can go back just to sign the cheque, just to get some more money. It's a repeating circle of drink, sleep, drink, sleep. And yeah, and he's in a real bad place. So he decides to go to Las Vegas and drink himself to death, basically. Whereupon he meets Elizabeth Shue, who's a prostitute and having issues with a pimp who's cut and scarred before and hits her and beats her. And the two form an unlikely friendship, a very, I was not to say sweet, I want to say sweet friendship, but given the context, maybe not, but that's maybe how it come across to me. Sort of like two soulmates coming together, if you wish. And it says a masterpiece on the back here. I wouldn't go that far, but is very, very good and totally compelling. Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, very well paced as well. And yeah, I can't say enjoyed the right word, but yeah, it was all right. It was good. It was good film. I have watched it before, I think years ago, or parts of it. It might be like first time I sat and watched it all together. But yeah, if you want to be put through that place, yeah, I reckon, I'll tell you what, I'll put it up, down, and I'm so depressed. But I recorded a video that day, and I went to check my messages, see if any comments, and I've been left a comment from somebody who never commented before, and it's such a fantastic comment, one of the best comments on the channel I've ever had, that it kind of pulled me round. So I think if you're watching, you know who you are. You were on my shoulder knowing I watched this and you pulled me out of it, so I appreciate that. Thanks very much. Leaving Las Vegas. Next up on my second Sidney Pollack film of the week. I'm getting a real like for Sidney Pollack. I need to go through his filmography and catch some more. So any recommendations, again, down below. God, your fingers are going to be aching, all these recommendations. This was The Interpreter from 2005. Nicole Kidman, Sean Penn, Catherine Keener, Jesper Christensen, who you may know as Mr. White, I think, from the Daniel Craig James Bond film, and another decent conspiracy film from Pollock. This is about Kidman's character. She works for the United Nations. You know, when you see where they have all these big conferences and all the heads of state come together to discuss whatever crap they discuss, how they're going to destroy the world and stuff like that. They all get together, and because it's multilingual, they employ these interpreters to interpretate. So Nicole's character, her background is this African background, and Matobo, something like that. Anyway, it's a fictional African country that is being ruled by this warlord who started off all the promises, as they do when they come in, going to revolutionise the country, but settled for ethnic cleansing, as they tend to do a lot. And Nicole Kidman, she overhears people talking in this guy's language, this African language. Ku, I think the language was. I think I've pulled that out. Yeah, I think the language was Ku. And she overhears a plot to kill this warlord when he comes to the conference. Whilst this might not sound like a bad idea, obviously the Americans didn't want this on their hands. At this foreign dignitary, however bad and evil he is, gets killed while he's on UN soil, American soil, at this conference. So this whole operation comes into effect to stop the guy from being assassinated. And it's very twisty and turny, a lot going on. It's a bit not the sharpest tool in the box, and there's a lot going on, and for my little brain it got a bit convoluted at parts. But you guys will probably be alright, it's probably just me. Yeah, it's alright. It's not Pollock's finest effort. It's 2 hours 20, I'd say maybe a half an hour to 40 minutes too long. It could have been cut down just to keep it flowing a bit more. But it's decent stuff, and Kidman's, I do like Kidman, she's as good as ever. Yeah, alright, I'd give it a watch if you like your conspiracy type thrillers. Yeah, decent film. And I finished off the week with The Go-Between from 1971, directed by Joseph Losey, screenplay by Harold Pinter. Now, I think this is the third film that I've seen those two collaborate on. This one, Accident, and The Servant, and three brilliant films. I've liked them all. I gather from watching the three of them that Losey sort of likes poking his finger in the eye of the upper classes. That's what I'm getting from this director. And this is a great film. You know, I watched it with my dad when I was a kid, and when you're a kid, you want James Bond. I wanted Duel, I wanted Roller Coaster, I wanted Jaws. I didn't watch this, so I didn't appreciate it as a kid. But now, after all these years, watching it as an adult, it's just a fantastic film. And what a cast, what a cast. Julie Christie, Alan Bates, Edward Fox, Michael Redgrave, Dominic Gallard was the kid in it. Margaret Leighton's always great. Michael Gough, who you'll know as Alfred in the Tim Burton Batman. Roger Lloyd Pack, Trigger from Only Fools and Horses, who he was funny. He hardly said a word, and he's part of this big family who live in this country estate house. Who you know what it's like when they all sit around the table together, and he hardly said a word. He just sat there looking gorgeous like Trigger, but it quite amused me. Richard Gibson, who you know as Hair Flick from Hello Hello, he was a kid in this, and you could see him as an older Hair Flick actually. Yeah, really enjoyed this. It's about forbidden love. Julie Christie, she's the daughter of this couple who own this manor house, very much upstairs, downstairs. I've never seen it, but Downton Abbey, and maybe Downton Abbey is maybe something I should maybe try and watch if I do enjoy this. Should I get to Downton Abbey on the back of this? Yeah, she's the daughter of this couple who own this manor house. Richard Gough, he was a footballer. Michael Gough. Julie Christie, I can imagine Richard Gough in this. She's their daughter, and she's engaged to be married to this Viscount played by Edward Fox, who's come back from the Boer War, all scarred up and very tally-ho type of guy. They're all very tally-ho, they all speak like this. And Julie Christie, she starts this love affair with a local farmer played by Bates, and Dominic Gallard's character, the child, he's a school friend of one of the brothers of the Julie Christie, so he comes to stay for the summer, and he's not as well to do as this family, but he's not struggling by any means. You can tell that he speaks very well, and he strikes up a friendship with the farmer himself, and gets the job of delivering messages between the two of them. And yeah, really good study of the class system. And like I say, Losi, like poking his eye in the upper classes, is beautifully paced. Nearly 2 hours. I wanted more of it. Shot fantastically, the manor house, and I think it's all shot round Norwich. There is some scenes of Norwich round the church and the cathedral and stuff like that. I've never been to Norwich, but on the back of this, I don't know how much it's changed since 71, since they filmed this. I mean, it was Victorian, I think late Victorian years it was set. So, yeah, really good stuff. Really enjoyed it. One of the highlights of the week. Been a steady old week, actually. Been some great stuff. So, yeah, that's it. That's everything I've watched. I seem to have banged on a bit this week. I'm dreading cobbling it together now to see how long it is. I've bored myself now. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Big thumbs up from me. I love your comments. Give me a thumbs up back. Subscribe if you want to hear more of this crap, and I'll see you in the week for something. See you later, ta-ra.